So let's do that. Now let's get everything open so that I can get this all going. It's a little loud for me. There we go. Let's see, I need to put this here for now. Get my jacket on. Is this saying I'm live yet? Of course it isn't. What was I thinking? It's only been like 1 minute since I opened it up. Okay, well, that's fine. Put my jacket on. If anybody is in the chat, I apologize. I cannot see you yet. My Twitch app on my phone is the only way I can see chat right now, due to the nature of having to make this game full screen to play it, and, well, unfortunately my Twitch app doesn't say I'm live until 3 or 4 minutes after I go live, which kind of defeats the point, but, you know. Probably shouldn't have pressed that yet, actually, even. There we go. Well, that's impromptu enough, I think, for an intro. You know what? No. To hell with it. We'll do an actual intro. How about that? Let's do this. And then that. And then this. Hey, Garrick, how's it going? Yeah, Fukin Mega Man. That's what we're doing today. Let's see. Boot this back up. And do that. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. And in about 1 minute, I will get everything started. So we'll leave it right here for now. Might not quite be 1 minute. It depends on when my clock changes to Speak of the Devil, 4:35 Eastern Daylight Time. That means you know what time it is. It's time to get started. So let's go do that. How you doing, everybody? My name is Monochromium, and this is the Mega Man X Collection for PS2, or a PS2 emulator that I am bootlegging up on here. Not even because it's technically, if you want to be technical, even though I own the game, illegal. It's also because of the fact that this isn't my normal stream setup. As you can see, I have to make the game full screen in order for you to see it properly, which is why I'm playing it basically like a console game. But none of that really matters right now, because we are here, and we have 6 games to go through. Now, if you missed the video that I just posted on my channel saying, hey, you know, this is how we're going to do all of this stuff, this is my first side project for the streams there. What I'm going to do is we're going to play through this entire series, not back-to-back. We're going to do Mega Man X, then we're going to play a game of my choosing, then we're going to play X2, then XCOM, X3, the first third of Final Fantasy XIV, X4, the second third of Final Fantasy XIV, X5, the last third of Final Fantasy XIV, and then X6. What that will do, it was mostly there for Final Fantasy XIV, but what it'll do is it'll break up Final Fantasy XIV into 3 roughly 20-part long chunks, so that it's not like Persona 5 was, where it was 53 streams basically of the same game. This way there's a little bit of time in between to break it up, so I'm not just hanging out on the one game for 4 straight months, even though that's kind of what I will be doing anyway with it. Not the point, though. Today we are going to start this little bit right here by playing the first game in the series, and one of my personal favorite games of all time, Mega Man X. So without further ado, let's get started. And you'll have to pardon me for a moment because I have to fix the emulator volume, because the Super Nintendo one is a little bit softer. So let's go up by like that much. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, now we should be good. I don't remember booting up MS-DOS. Oh, Dr. Kane. Okay. Reading a warning. Well, that doesn't sound good. Let's check the specs on our new robot friend. Yes, this is true, Garrick. Nintendo taking down the emulator sites is kind of honestly the reason why I'm playing this on the PS2 collection. Other than the fact that this is the one where I became experienced with X2, X3, X5, and X6. Like, I didn't play those before I got it on the PS2 collection. Anyway, here's a warning. X is the first of a new generation of robots which contain an innovative new feature, the ability to think, feel, and make their own decisions. However, this ability could be very dangerous. If X were to break the first rule of robotics, a robot must never harm a human being, the results would be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. Hell yeah, man. Sounds good. Give me the wheel. I'll take control of this badass unstoppable robot. Approximately 30 years will be required before we can safely confirm his reliability. Unfortunately, I will not live to see that day, nor do I have anyone to carry on my work. Therefore, I have decided to seal him in this capsule, which will test his internal systems until his reliability has been confirmed. Please do not disturb the capsule until that time. X possesses great risks as well as great possibilities. I can only hope for the best. September 18th, 20XX, Thomas Light. Well, at least it wasn't Dr. Wowie. And, yes, in case you couldn't realize it just yet, this is Mega Man X. It's what we'll be playing for the stream today. Side note, that warning screen was terrifying when I was a little kid. Like, holy shit. Like, I would literally... I booted up the game for the first time, I think, when I was about 6 years old. I had to leave the room because I didn't know the start button would get you off of that screen and onto the title screen. I mean, I barely played any video games before that at that point, so I was a stupid little kid. You know, what are you going to do? And the warning pops up on the screen, and I'm like, Mom! Mom, I can't go in there. The TV's beeping at me. But, yeah, nowadays, not so scary. Anyway, let me set up my controls real quick. I know I have the dash command on L1. It's a thing, okay? It makes it easier for me so I don't have to claw the controller. Don't judge me. Alright. Hang on. No, to get that shit off of here, Dr. Kane, let's actually play the game now. Start it up. Alright, here we go. Nice. Very crisp. I had to deal with a few artifacts on the screen on the PS2 emulator yesterday when I was setting this all up. There was a little side 1 pixel long artifact next to X all the time before. Now it's as clean as a whistle, just like it was back on the SNES. So let's get moving. I do love how the cars sort of give you a sense that, you know, it's like you feel like you have to jump over them, but then you're like, oh crap, they're in the background and the foreground. This game has 2.5D. Now, who had that idea, but they were very good. I almost just jumped to my death on the first stage, which would not have been very good. It would have been embarrassing, which is about par for the course here, so. Wow. Watch where you're pointing that thing, man. I don't really have so much color commentary for this, to be honest with you, because I just like basking in the nostalgia of this game. I play this game regularly. Wow! Watch where you're pointing that thing, too. I regularly play this game specifically once a year, basically, for, like I said, nostalgia value. And it's so good. It's such a tight, mechanically good sound experience. I love it. As I said in the video, if you watch it over on YouTube, it's one of my favorite games, so If I had to pick a game that would have to be my objective favorite out of all of the games that I've ever played, this would probably be it. Now, that doesn't factor in subjective matters of games that aren't necessarily good or even, great or even good, but I have, I have nostalgic value towards. We'll get to that one eventually. Man, the whole highway's coming down. I think we need to get the repair crews out here. And I know where most of the enemies are, so if you see me just shooting ahead randomly and it looks like I'm not going to hit anything, it's because I have some idea of where the enemies are and what I'm doing, so we don't need that yet. We don't need weapon energy. Give me Yoka! You see this Ego Raptor? You've set a precedent on the internet that will never go away now, because everyone who plays this game now has to ride on cars in order to get off of that ledge. At least everyone when in reference to me. Anybody else hear the ground shell? Oh, okay. I guess they brought an airship in. That ain't good. Hold on a second. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I had to stretch my leg out. Falls asleep every now and then. Did the music just not loop? Wow! Oh, okay. That's gonna fade out before I can... Damn it! I was gonna say, before I can get it, isn't it? Hello there. Who are you? Wow. Okay, he's not messing around. He's not... Oh my god! How about a... Okay, then. I was gonna say, how about a giant buster shot to the face, but apparently it didn't work. It's not working! He's not going down! I'm doing the best I can, and... Oh god. Wow. What is that? Oh my god. He changed his tactics all of a sudden. He's like, oh, I gotta capture him alive. Oh shit. You worthless piece of scrap metal. Did you think you could defeat me? Well, that was the idea, but I don't think it's working so well. What's that sound? Hey, Zero's here. Nice. Well, you broke his arm. Nice assist there, buddy. Damn, I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him. X, you shouldn't expect to defeat him. He's designed to be a war machine. I think I know the lines pretty well, so I kind of speak ahead of them a little bit sometimes, sorry. Remember, you have not reached full power yet. If you use all the abilities you were designed with, you should become stronger. You may even become as powerful as I am. Well, hell, you just blasted that dude's arm off with one charge shot, and it wasn't even a full charge. I'll take that kind of power. That'll be fun. Gotta work up to it, though. I'll scout ahead and collect as much information on Sigma's fortress as I can. I'll meet up with you when you get there. See you later. X, I know you can do it. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Zero. I'll do the best I can. Oh, we don't need that screen. We do need this screen, though, so I can save my progress. Wow, that is blurry. Holy shit. It's like my emulator's having a hemorrhage or something. Or Tourette's. Oh, well. And here we are. The stage select screen. I love the theme on this one. It's so good. I would spend like minutes when I was younger just sitting on the screen and going to the bum 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 with the cursor like that. It's so good. So each of the 8 stages you can go to, they give you a bit of a splash screen for the stage if you have the stage marker selected. If you click map, you can see where on the world map each of the Mavericks is. And if you click spec, you can get some information about their height, weight, and attacks. Not really all that helpful, honestly, but I mean, it's not bad. It's nice to kind of have access to this, you know what I mean? Just to it adds to the ambiance, really. So anyway, the thing about Mega Man X1 is that in the beginning of the game, now I'm going to kind of spoil something that's going to happen in a little bit here. There are these parts that you can find in 4 of the 8 stages that will upgrade your gear. It'll make it so that you can, well, among other things, the thing that most people go for when they first play the game is they go into Chill Penguin's stage so that they can get the leg upgrade, because the leg upgrade gives you access to the dash, excuse me, and the dash makes this game a whole lot more fast-paced, makes it easier to dodge opponents' attacks and everything like that. So most people go for Chill Penguin stage first because it's fairly easy. You have to grab the dash, it's required in order to get it, it's in order to get through the stage, and it's probably the most important upgrade in the entire game, which is why we are not going there first. Instead, I'm going to try my luck against Flame Mammoth. Just to break things up, because I'm sick and tired of seeing every single damned stream of Mega Man X online being Chill Penguin first. Let's do something a little outside the box. Why not? So Flame Mammoth, his stage takes place in a factory. Now you can jump on these things, I believe. Just don't get stuck in the lava, because if you get stuck in the lava, well, you're going to lose about a third of your HP, and that's no fun. Those guys can shoot little laser beams at you. They don't go all the way across the screen. They eventually do fade out, but apparently that wasn't far enough away. But we should be good. Now this spot is important right here. Remember, was that a flame pillar? Jesus Christ. But remember this spot for later. It's going to be important for something that we can come back for in just a little while. Let's see if we can actually make it through here first without falling off of ledges and dying to people with pickaxes. Go back to Minecraft where you belong. Well, hit me anyway. That's fine. I got HP recovery. I'm good. Try not to jump too high here, because those guys up on those top ledges will start throwing their axes at you, and they'll actually end up on the screen like that guy's just did. So, and there's a 1-up, I think, over there, but I'm not really... Well, maybe I should be bothered by it. Maybe not. Can I even get over there? That's the real question. Maybe if I jump really... Yep. Okay. Now his are going to end up on the screen, and so are his. Ow. Ow again. I was going to say, I hope you drop a large energy thing, capsule for me. Oh, Metools, what are you guys doing here? Get out of here. Go back to original Mega Man. Now, if you have the leg parts, you can jump off this way to get another upgrade, but I do not, so we will not. You can't get any of the upgrades in this stage on the first go if you don't have the leg upgrade. So there's going to be a little bit of backtracking that we're going to have to do on our way out of here. So say, can you drop some energy for me? Spare a brother a cup of energy? Probably not. Now, even though this is one of my favorite games of all time, that doesn't mean that I'm an absolute master at it. I will probably die on a few occasions, especially in the beginning of the game here. So, where things are a little more difficult. Especially if you don't go in, like, easy boss order or weakness order, because each boss has a weakness to a different boss's weapon that you'll be getting. And you can go in weakness order, where basically you start with Chill Penguin, and then you go against the guy who's weak to his ice powers, and you go from there, so on and so forth. But we're not going to be going in weakness order either, because I like a challenge, and I usually try to do all of the 8 stages with Buster only, with the X Buster only, which is X's default weapon here. It's just, I don't know, it feels more appropriate, really, to just try to fight the Mavericks with your standard weapon before you go running off and trying to, you know, do something else. No Snake Man, no bye. Hey Trump, how's it going? No Snake Man in this one. I don't think, anyway. I don't think anybody's a snake out of the Mavericks. No. There's a chameleon, but not a snake. Okay, so here's the first boss that we'll be fighting. Flame Mammoth. He likes to jump all over the place, and if he hits the ground while you're on the ground, you will get momentarily stunned. He can also change the conveyor belt. Trying not to... Okay. Wow. Watch where you're pointing that flamethrower, man. Just trying not to stay on the ground right next to him. The oil that he throws there does not do any damage, but he can light it up with his flame powers, so... Yeah, be careful. Ow. Okay, that's fine. Now I can get out of here. I jumped too late. That's okay. Go ahead, change the conveyor belt. There you go. Oh, God. He's not too bad. Just watch when he's jumping around that you don't get smacked around. And you should be fine. And that takes care of the first boss. Not too bad. If you're playing the Maverick Hunter X version of this game, you may want to actually take on Flame Mammoth first anyway, because you can get the leg parts in this stage. They changed up where you get the leg parts in that one. But for defeating Flame Mammoth, we get the Fire Wave power, which is one of my favorite weapons, if not my favorite weapon in this game. I mean, Storm Tornado is all fine and good, but we won't be getting that for a little while here, so... Jesus Christ, this is blurry. I don't know why this is so blurry, but the rest of the game seems fairly crisp, so... whatever. Anyway, so we've defeated Flame Mammoth. Where to next? Well, we could, again, go to Chill Penguin stage and get the leg parts, but I'm going to delay that order just a little longer to go to Armored Armadillo's stage, or I guess I should say it in the fancy voice. Hold on. Armored Armadillo! Yeah, I like that. Reason being, we don't really need the dash for this stage until much, much later, and we can get all the upgrades here if we want to, so... Now, I'm going to use Fire Wave here because it's actually pretty nice for fighting the enemies off. As you can see, it basically ignores the stun frames that some enemies may have and hits them with every single pixel that the Fire Wave is on them. I can't really adequately explain it, but basically, like, you know how the X-Buster, it shoots and that's one shot? Well, this has, like, one shot the entire time that the wave is out on the enemies. Again, not really an adequate explanation. Just know that it does lots of damage, except against bosses, unless it's one certain boss, so... Did I play Mighty Number 9? No, I did not, and I did not fund the damn thing, because something in the back of my mind told me that something bad was going to happen with that game on Kickstarter. So I did not play it, I did not fund it, I did none of the above. And I've heard that I made a smart decision in doing so. So anyway, there's the first E-Tank in the game. Now what those will do is when you pick up life energy, life capsules there, like small or large ones, it will start filling up slowly, and you can use it to restore your health in a pinch if you need it. I'm just going to use Fire Wave because it means that I don't have to worry about charging up my Buster all the time. Although in this stage you really don't need to charge up your Buster for much because most of the enemies are dead in one hit anyway, so... I was kind of hoping that guy didn't drop anything. It's a short-ranged attack, sure, but I find it works pretty well. I do need to conserve a little bit of it, though, because I'm going to be needing it against a mini-boss. Quote-unquote mini-boss in a few moments. Might just start conserving it now, honestly, because I'm not getting any weapon energy drops. But I am getting lots of life energy drops. There we go. That should restore it a little. And those life energy drops are pretty nice because they will fill up my E-Tank there. So that's good. Now, if you need life energy, it will not fill up the E-Tank, so make sure that you're topped off, or else you may waste a little bit of the potential energy that that thing could give you. Wow. Oh, okay. That's fine. And that means it's full, so if you check over here, now if I need it, I can restore my entire health bar in a pinch there. So that's good. I also fell off the minecart, so let's just go through this on foot then, why don't we? In this case, the leg upgrade would be useful, because then I could, you know, go through this without having to slowly walk through it, but I wasn't anticipating falling off of a minecart today, so... Alright. Let's keep going. Anything up? Oh god! I didn't jump. Whoops. My bad. Well, there had to be one embarrassing death on this stream, and I suppose there it is. Not a big deal, though. It shouldn't take long to get back to where we were. Ow. Now, okay, that's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, you do not refill your weapon energy when you die, so you gotta kind of conserve it again, is what we'll do. But that's fine. I'm gonna use it right here, though, to get rid... Well, you don't have to, and I guess I could follow this guy. And I mean, you can beat him with the X-Buster, it's just not easy. Say, Mr. Metzl, I don't really have time for you to stand around. Now, those rocks that are in the middle there, those are breakable if you have another upgrade. So you need a head upgrade to get that. Ooh, thank you. And the dude that I was just following there, he fell into a pit of spikes and died because everything in the Mega Man universe dies in one hit, basically, if they get hit by spikes. So you need some dead. Find a pit of spikes, man. Oh god. Unless you're, you know, invulnerable, in which case you don't die to a pit of spikes. It's complicated. It's as complicated as the fact that the enemies come back when you run off the screen and then back on, even if it's only for a pixel. But, you know. Knock, knock. Got my foot in him. Let's not do that. Okay, my fire wave is full again, so that's good. Alright, let's not fall off this time. Let's just stand right here. There we go. Shoot ahead of me just a little bit, just to be safe. And then jump right here. Alright. Get rid of those guys. Now, before going down there, you're probably going to want to equip Fire Wave. If you don't have it yet, get ready to use your trigger finger, because you're going to need to use the X-Buster a whole lot in a second in order to get another upgrades. But I've got Fire Wave, so this should be fine. Die, monster! You don't belong in this world. I can get through this cave without you clearing the way for me. Thank you very much. So if you let him get to this point, he will make it so that it's just barely, you're just barely unable to jump up here and get this upgrade to your life. You get 2 extra points of life there. So that's helpful. Keep on the lookout for those, because those are very nice. Definitely help in the final areas there. And shoot ahead of myself again just to be safe. Get rid of those bats, because you can hit them with your head if you're not shooting ahead of you, and, well, that's a problem. Wonder why this ledge is just hanging out here. Well, we'll figure it out later. Let's move on in and see what the boss has to fight us with today. But before I do that, I'm going to take a quick drink of water. I will say this, though. Going back to that embarrassing death that I had there where I didn't jump, that was happening a lot when I was playing the Legacy Collection. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I heard that there was a problem with the Legacy Collection where the emulation sort of like lagged a little bit, and it was only by like frames, but if your jumps are like pitch perfect and you have a lag of like 8 frames or something, 6 or 8 frames, I think I heard that's what it was. That's the difference between jumping over a gap and falling into a pit of spikes in an embarrassing way. So, kind of put me off to playing that version for the stream, especially since that version also has Mega Man X7, and as we've established previously, not a big fan of that game. So, anyway, let's fight the second boss. Ah, so you're the one tunneling through this whole facility. So this is Armored Armadillo. He's weak to X-Buster spam, believe it or not. Now, the easiest way I find to fight him is to just shoot at him from a certain distance. You want to get a little closer so that you can kind of see there's like a gap in his shields like that when you're about 3/4 of the screen away. And the easiest way I find to jump over his attacks like this is to watch X, not Armored Armadillo. If you watch X, you can jump over his attacks like this when they're coming closer to you, because they're fairly slow moving, so it's not really a huge deal. And you can just beat him like this. Of course, you gotta be careful because he kills you in 3 hits, but, you know, we should be okay. Also, don't shoot him with a charged shot. You don't want to know what happens, but it's not good for you. See, I'm a little too close there, so I gotta move out of the way just a smidge. I used to fight Launch Octopus like this as well, because there's the boss for the Undersea area, Launch Octopus. He shoots these projectiles out in front of him that die to a single X-Buster shot, and I I used to fight him just doing it that way too, instead of going and getting his weakness. It was a lot harder than this, granted, but, well, you know. So now I gotta blast him away from me here a little bit, until he dies. And that's pretty much the simplest way, without getting Armored Armadillo's weakness, to fight him. If you shoot him with a charge shot, by the way, he will block it with a shield. He'll charge up, and then he'll shoot a bunch of those little slow-moving projectiles out of him, except they move about 6 times as fast as they normally do, so you'll have to jump out of the way a little bit. It does leave him open, but I wouldn't recommend it. And for defeating Armored Armadillo, we get Rolling Shield. Slow-moving projectile. Sounds about right for Armored Armadillo. Well, now we're moving a little bit better. We've actually got an upgrade there to sit on our menu besides a weapon. Okay, now we'll go after Chill Penguin. I've delayed long enough. I have a hard time fighting the other bosses without having the leg upgrade, to be honest with you. Some of them I'm okay against, but like, you put me up against like Spark Mandrill or Sting Chameleon or Boomer Coanger without the frickin' leg upgrade, it's like 50-50. So... well, you're not chopping down a tree, dude. Get out of here. Okay, there we go. Ow. Drop some life energy for me, please. No. Oh, okay, this one was nice. Wait for that first. Oh god, I didn't jump fast enough. There we go. Well, that was also not good, but that's fine. We're good. Gotta make it inside of ice facility on the planet Hoth. It's like they took the cave of the, what was that, the Wumpa or something? I don't remember Star Wars Episode 5, it's been a long time. But they took the cave of that monster thing, and they hollowed it out and made a research facility out of it. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. Get out of here, Wheel. Go be free with your friends. Wow. No, I don't need that. I do need to, however, make this jump, and it's kind of difficult because you'll do that and then the wheel will come back and it's not good for you. It's like I catch the edge of it. There we go. If only there were an upgrade that I could get that would make those jumps a little bit easier. Ah, it has arrived. So, you've come. X, I gave you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hoped the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to fight. This is a little more epic than his normal voice, isn't it? Because I thought the world might need a new champion. Because, I mean, if it was his normal voice, it'd be like, because I thought the world might need a new champion. Let's not do that. I have hidden capsules like this one. If you find and use them, you will be able to increase your powers beyond anything the world has ever known. Sounds good, Ghost Guy. Step into this capsule and receive an acceleration system to boost your speed. Good luck, X. Well, thanks, Dr. Light. That was Dr. Light, by the way, in case you didn't know. X doesn't know, but I'm just going to spoil it right here for you, because I don't think they ever really talk about it until suddenly in one of the games, it just says Dr. Light in the subtitle, and it's like, oh, okay, they've known all along. But anyway, yes, for getting that capsule, we can now dash around, frolicking like the crazy people we are. Let's not dash into a pit, though. That would not be good. So, you may notice that when I'm dashing, my pellets actually do more damage. Now, that's due to a glitch in the game's programming, but it's not really that malicious of a glitch, so I figure, whatever, it's not that big of a deal if I abuse it. Of course, it's getting me hurt right now, which is not exactly good. But yeah, now the game is a lot faster, now that we can dash and jump. Now, I think you can dash in this robot thing, even if you don't have the dash parts, but I don't know how you'd get to it if you didn't have the dash parts, so... But anyway, if you jump out of it like that, we have Fire Wave. Oh, that's Rolling Shield. So let's do this, open up that capsule without the thing, and we get another life upgrade, so that's good. And you can go this way in order to finish out the level, but let's go back and get my robot friend. See if we can use him to get on out of here. Because the robot is fancy, and I like the robot, so we're gonna use the robot. Oh god. Not use the robot to fall into a pit, though. As you can see, there was another dude with the robot there, but it's fine, we're fine. My robot was better. Super Robot Wars? No, that's not the game we're playing. And that guy's tanky. And those snowballs will roll downhill and turn into large snowballs just like that. So don't get hit by them if you can afford it. Fire Wave takes care of them fairly handily. So, and we could use Fire Wave on the boss here, but as I said before, we're going to try to do this Buster only. Of course, knowing my luck, I'm going to walk right in here and die to Chill Penguin, but that would be funny enough to warrant me actually keeping it in. So yes, as you can see, now I can jump off of walls, I can do all of that stuff, and my pellet, while I was dashing, actually did extra damage to him there. So like that. See, that did as much damage as the actual charged shot does, so that's pretty nice. Is it worth running into bosses to do it? No, but eh. And when he's dashing like that, he's completely invulnerable, so, you know, that's not going to work for you. Jump over his head. Sometimes he will double dash too, so you gotta be a little careful. Yeah, I meant to catch him underneath, but we got him all the same. Not too bad of a boss. Pretty easy if you take him as your first guy, as you can see. You can kind of avoid him pretty easily when compared to some of the other bosses, but we did him third because why the hell not? Mission accomplished. Let me just power my way right through that switch he just used. And for defeating Chill Penguin, we get Shotgun Ice. Another good power, weapon power. Honestly, I feel like the weapon powers in the first game were like spot on in terms of how they're used for their utility, because later on in the series they basically just turn into stuff that you can use to get upgrades instead of things you'll actually want to use in place of the X-Buster in a stage, and it's kind of sad, honestly. Excuse me. Okay, next guy we want to go after is this one in the tower. So we will be fighting Boomer Kuwanger, or Boomerang Kuwanger, depending on which version of the game you're playing. I prefer Boomerang Kuwanger, it just seems better, I guess. Uh-oh, this guy's got a shield, and I can't get around his shield from the front. However, shall we beat him? Like that. And that's why I got Shotgun Ice before coming here. Trying to hit this guy with it, but there we go. But yeah, Shotgun Ice is a nice power. It's not always the most powerful thing out there, but it does pretty good damage, so... Especially if you hit them like in short range, because it seems to do more damage in the short range there than anywhere else. Uh-oh, a laser grid. Gonna have to be careful here. Try to dodge out of the way when, ow, when the laser's not directly on there. Because if you don't, those dudes that are hovering up there, they will shoot at you, and it's just generally not a good time. Ha! Defying the laws of physics for my own gain. How about that? Oops. But yeah, if you fight a big dude, they're pretty well weak to Fire Wave because they have a lot of HP, but they take damage in each frame that Fire Wave is on them. So, thank you. I might need that against the boss. So it's not bad. Alright, and here's the dreaded tower elevator section. part that usually screws up people who have no hit runs or no damage runs at this level. Definitely screwed up a friend of mine way back in the day when he was doing a no damage run of this part. I guess we got through it okay, though. Just, you know, as long as we don't run into the spikes by accident. How does this work exactly? Anybody mind explaining? I feel like I've got one leg on the elevator and the other on the spike, but if my leg is on the spike, shouldn't I be dying? Or am I just casually defying gravity there? I don't care. Let's keep moving. Getting up the tower here. Whoa! Hey, where'd you come from? But yeah, there are cannons on the sides of the towers here. You don't have to beat all of them, especially if you have the dash upgrade. You can mostly just avoid some of them, but... yeah, they might drop something that's worthwhile for me. Weapon energy, maybe, so I can refill shotgun ice. I don't know. Just gotta watch, because sometimes they will shoot at you there. Like that. I don't think I even need this one, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Wow. Anyway. Almost missed that one completely there. That's alright, we're good. Okay. Oh, it didn't loop again. That must be a part of the collection on PS2. I must have never noticed it. Anyway, yeah, so there's a life upgrade right there. We can't get that with our current gear for right now, but we'll come back and we'll get it a little later, so don't worry about it for now. Actually, we can come back like right after I beat this level to get it, to be honest with you. There we go. Ow. Let me get over here. Now we're good. Well, I think I didn't die to that. Must have put it on him just one frame too little. Oh well. And we're here. We do not have Boomerang Kawanger's weakness right now, so I won't be able to abuse that maliciously, but we should be alright since we have the dash upgrade. I should be able to get away from him and get up on the walls as needed. Because his shtick is that he likes teleporting all over the place, and he's pretty fast to boot, so you gotta be kind of careful. Try to dash around quite a bit, because otherwise he'll be right on top of you the whole fight. Take advantage of the fact that he shoots his boomerang occasionally. And use that opportunity to shoot at him, because if he gets a hold of you, well, problems will be had, so... like that. I should probably use my E-tank instead of being stubborn about it, but... let's see what we can do. Wow. Stop teleporting! There you go. Yeah, eventually he will stop teleporting all over the place, and then I can actually damage him a little more effectively. Oh god, I almost jumped on top of him and he faked me out. Alright, that's fine. We'll get back to it with full health, and I'll use the E-tank this time if need be. And then we'll go from there. He is kind of tough at the point that I'm fighting him, though, so I wouldn't recommend fighting him now if you're playing through it for the first time. I'd recommend going after him as one of your later bosses, honestly. He's a little easier as a later boss. Ow. Get out of here. But yeah, using the dash lets you really avoid his boomerangs quite nicely there. Jump right over my head. That's fine. Okay. One more good shot. Damn. I was gonna say, haha! Oh, I got him. I got him when he was damaging me. Nice. We just stand in this explosion real quick. You know, cool guys don't look at explosions, but Mega Man, he stands in them. He's just that badass. Or, I should say X, because Mega Man at this point is... well, they never really explain where he went, but he's not around anymore. And for defeating Boomerang Kawanger, we get Boomerang Cutter. It's a nice utility weapon, because not only does it inflict a little bit of damage, but it can also retrieve valuables that are out of reach to you. Gee, I wonder where we can make use of that. We'll go do the backtracking later, though. I'm not going to be too concerned with it for now. We'll do all the backtracking in one go once we've beaten all the Mavericks. So who do I want to fight next? Basically, there is in the first game, there's this thing where if you beat a certain Maverick, something will happen in a different stage. Now, basically, what would have happened with Flame Mammoth's stage is if I beat Chill Penguin first, his stage would have been altered permanently. There was no way to get it back to the fiery factory that it was. Now, out of the other stages that we've got left, both Sting Chameleons and Spark Mandrills also suffer from this potential problem where you have to... they could be permanently altered depending on who you fight next. So don't fight Launch Octopus. If you want to see all the stages in their full glory, don't fight Launch Octopus or Storm Eagle. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Until you've fought these two. So let's see what we can do. Who out of these two do I want to fight next? I kind of think Spark Mandrill, because if I didn't, I'd be saving Storm Eagle for last, so I think we'll go with this first. So now we will go fight Spark Mandrill. And he's got a really rockin' stage theme too, so it's really nice. Now his stage is an electrical factory, so there is lights all over the place that will damage you if you fall on top of them or you let them run into you, so maybe don't do that. Ow. Also don't stand in them, that wouldn't be good either. Ooh, an E-Tank. Let's test out our new Boomerang Cutter power, see if I can bring it over here. Oops. Now you want to walk away from the wall here when you use Boomerang Cutter there to get the E-Tank, because if you don't walk away from it, there's a chance that it will hit the wall and fall through the floor, and you can never, ever, ever get it again. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. Thank you. Wow. God damn it, dead end. Let's get out of here. Ow. Ow again. Those little light things don't do that much damage, so it's not a huge deal, but... This one's kind of annoying because you kind of... It's hard to get up there without damaging yourself, letting it hit you on the foot, basically. Not this time, though. Whoa. What the heck was that thing? There's another one. I'm sure they're not that important. Don't let it fool you, though. Sometimes they will try to come out of the woodwork and hit you. So, from across the screen. Like that. Oh, God. Yeah, don't let that happen, because you could fall off the stage and die in a bottomless pit there. Not very nice, like I said. And I don't know if I have enough to kill the next dude. I don't think he's weak to Fire Wave, but at the same time he may just take some good damage from it, so... Damn it. Okay, what's with the bubbles? Whose idea of a good time? Oh, Jesus. So yeah, this guy will bounce all over the room, shoot bubbles all over the room at you, power himself up here, and then shoot you with lightning, which is, again, not a good time. But all of those hits were damaging him, so that should be fine for us. We should be able to beat him without too much trouble. Ow. And I say that, and then we die right before he dies, I think. Should have been paying attention to my HP a little better, but that's okay. We'll make it back there. For too long. There's a lot of diverted attention in this stage, as you can see. There's a lot going on. Got to pay attention to those little lights on the bottom of the screen. You got to pay attention to the attacks that these guys do to you. It's all around not a fun time, but we'll make it through. I might just, like I said, have to use an E-Tank, that's all. There we go. Ha! Nice life energy. I'll take that, thank you. Oh god! Okay. I didn't dash there. That was my own fault, though. I didn't hold down the L1 button for long enough. So, alright. We approach this guy with full HP, and we'll be in good shape. Uh-oh. Let me out, let me out, let me out! Okay, phew. I find it's kind of difficult sometimes because it seems like 2 of the bubbles will actually hit you at the same time, which is kind of a pain. Whoa. Uh-oh. Of course, if I'm jumping into him, that's not really going to help us, is it? There we go. Only took half of my fire wave bar, but that's okay. Because I got most of it back. Alright, cool. Let's keep it equipped through here, because I think there's some larger enemies to deal with as we go through this part. Well, not quite. Some small guys first. Wow. Again, watch where you're pointing these things, man. Ow. Can I have some life energy, please? Because that would be real nice right about now. I mean, X is feeling it. He's panting like crazy, man. He knows he's low on life. Nice touch, by the way, for animating that low on life thing, so that even if you don't pay attention to your HUD over there to show your life energy, you can always see that you're low, so. Ah, there's the large dude I was talking about. Okay, we need Boomerang Cutter for this part because we have a life upgrade to get. Actually, I don't think we need Boomerang Cutter for this. I think you can just do this. If I remember right. I don't remember exactly where you got jumped from, though. Aha! There we go. Nice. And I think these guys died at like a single shotgun ice or something. Yeah, not bad. Short-range shotgun ice is nice. Definitely deals lots of damage, so. And we should be coming up on another lights out part here in just a sec. Yep. Ooh, thank you. We'll replace the other one. Always try to shoot ahead of you in this section because you may, yeah, like I said, get slammed in the face by one of those dudes. So, it's not fun. And you can kind of grind for life energy if you want by doing this. Just gotta shoot him before he hits the stage like that, so. Alright, now we're good. Let's move on in. See what we can do against this boss. Again, this boss might be a little tricky for using Buster only here, but we have the dash parts, so I should be halfway okay, I think. He is kind of tricky, though. Oh, and that's the main reason why he's tricky, because he has that punching attack. Now, what the punching attack does is it, if you're on a wall when he uses it, it will knock you off the wall and then into him, so. But you can actually knock him out of the punch by shooting him with a fully charged Buster. Actually, it doesn't even need to be fully charged. If you just do this, you can actually knock him out of it, so. Ow. Okay, I'm gonna need a knee tank here. I need healing! Okay, we're good. Don't be afraid to use the E-tanks either. They're there to help you, so. Of course, if I wasn't playing super sloppy, we'd be fine, but, well. You know. Sometimes you just play sloppy and there's nothing you can do but accommodate for it with the life energy that you've stored up from the deaths of countless other robots. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and Mega Man X understands that all too well. Apparently my dog outside heard that because he's trying to scratch his back out there and he's making all that noise in the background. For defeating Spark Mandrill, we get Electric Spark. It's a decent weapon. It's mostly utility for a certain boss, but yeah, we'll worry about that later. All right, next boss to fight. Do we fight Sting Chameleon next, or do I go after Storm Eagle next? Let's go after Storm Eagle next. Saving him for the second to last or last Maverick just seems silly, because usually what people will do after they get the leg upgrade in Chill Penguin stages, they'll come after Storm Eagle, because he's really not all that threatening either. In his stage, you definitely benefit from having the, what's it called? The leg parts in it, so. Let's see what we can do here. Well, that wasn't going to work. That did, though. And when you get to the top here, dash and jump off of that cliff, or that platform. You can dash over here and get a life upgrade on top of the airport there. Nice. Okay, now we can go up. If you go to the right there, there's a couple of enemies and some, I think, danger pods, which you can shoot open with like Fire Wave or other stuff to get some energy. It's really not anything I care about at this point. Ha! Gotcha. Airport, 1001. I think it's actually 00, but I could be wrong. Anyway, if you beat that guy and ride up here, you can break open this part of the airport, beat this guy up, explode the entire place, probably not good for the infrastructure here, and then get another E-tank. So that's good. And even though those guys use flamethrowers, they're actually still susceptible to Flame Mammoth's Fire Wave, so make good use of it. Unless they're too far away like this, in which case, a good old-fashioned X-Buster should be enough. You won't fight them on every platform, though, so... And you can get through this section without the dash boots, it's just more difficult, that's all. Can't do stuff like that without the dash boots, so... But yeah, you're never hitting this guy with Fire Wave, not unless you're standing on top of him, so... Okay, so these were the things I was talking about where you can break them open for stuff, so let's break this one open. It's fine, we won't die to those explosions. We get an extra life at the end of that tunnel, so that's nice. Ha! Don't gotta worry about that guy now. Alright, over here we'll go, and then if you actually head... Now this time I am gonna go right here, because if you go to the side of this and dash jump off here, got another danger panel, so let's break that open. See what we got inside. This one's important, because there's a capsule here. This capsule contains an enhancement for your helmet, which will allow you to break some ceilings with a headbutt. That seems kind of only useful in a few specific spots. I can think of one right now, but... Well, at least I get a cool helmet out of it. Not bad. And yes, now you can break these ceiling tiles, along with any others that are vaguely shaped like these ones, with your face. So that's great. Alright, let's get going, continue through the stage, and move right along. Too close, bad touch. Ow. That's fine. Oi! Let me go. Put me down! Lots of extra lives in this stage, though, apparently. Knock, knock. Wow, that tool's chasing me. Ooh, life energy, nice. Alright, off we go. These things are everywhere. Of course, you know, they probably aren't actually intending to, you know, hurt people or things. They're just mind-boggled by... Basically, there's a virus going around that was caused by the big bad of this game that's causing all these robots to go haywire. I don't think they really get into it too much in terms of the lore, but if you read the manual, that's what's going on in the background. There's a virus that's causing all these robots to turn quote-unquote maverick and start hurting people and other robots, which is not good. So let's head over here without even going through that little boss door there. I'll be just a moment. Casually break through the entire ship. Now we're good. Of course, the ship is going to fall, but before it falls, we have to fight and defeat Storm Eagle, who dies really easily to pellet spam when you have the dash upgrade. Because only a couple of his attacks are actually damaging. And that one's pretty easy to deal with, so... The rest of the time, he's mostly just trying to push you off the ship or dive at you like this. You can kind of stop and go in the opposite direction for a split second to hit him with a charge shot there, which is not bad. And then blow him up. He's pretty easy though, so it's not really a huge deal. And now the ship's falling out of the sky. Where does it fall? Well, it falls on Spark Mandrill's stage, so if you haven't beaten Spark Mandrill yet, you just altered the stage permanently. Sorry, you don't get to see the version I showed you. But that's okay, because for defeating Storm Eagle, we get the Storm Tornado, which he used against us and didn't deal any damage. When we use it, it deals lots of damage. It's kind of like a fire wave, except you can use it at a much longer distance. So it does damage for every pixel, every frame that it's inside of the enemies. So it's pretty nice, especially when you're going against larger enemies that like to keep their distance, which there aren't that many, but there's enough to make a difference there. And we'll get to use it a couple of times in the next couple of levels, because now we're going to take on Sting Chameleon. Or as the announcer would say in later games, Sting Chameleon! Doesn't seem all that threatening, but don't take his appearance lightly. He is a badass dude. But we can take him. We'll be fine. Apparently the Met Tools are hiding in the bushes now. It's like they're learning. Someone taught them some sentient... Ow. Someone taught them sentience. And that's a problem. And don't let this fool you, by the way, either. This isn't a bottomless pit. You can actually go in here if you kick out the walls like this. But I'll just tell you now, we can't get what's in there just yet, so we're not going to bother. However, if you go in the cave, well, this will happen. There will be cave-ins and a bunch of blocks trying to fall on your head, so maybe that's not such a good idea. I mean, you can go in there without going where we're about to go, but since we have the dash upgrade and we can go right there, let's head up here and see what's causing the cave-ins there. Apparently it's also causing a cave-in behind me that's going to make escape impossible. Otto, is that you? No, probably not. The resemblance is just aesthetic. I don't know if he's weak to Fire Wave or not, but the only portion of his body that actually takes any damage is his head. So, you gotta kind of shoot him there. Thankfully, he doesn't have the Flame Mammoth thing where if he hits the ground, he will temporarily knock you off balance, so that's nice. Eventually, he'll start smoking, though. Or he'll do that. That also could happen. And when he's smoking, that means he's starting to take some damage, so... Let's try out our new Storm Tornado, actually, on him. Okay, that didn't do much of anything. Let's try hitting him in the head, actually, with it. There we go. There, now he's smoking a little bit. But yeah, I don't know his exact weakness, unfortunately, so... I think a good old-fashioned X-Buster shot does the trick, too, though. If you hit him in the head with it. He's taking some decent damage from it, so he's smoking a little bit more than he was before, which is a good sign because it means he's dying, so... And again, what if he wanted to help us? What if we could free him from his Maverick prison? Well, those are questions that won't be answered because, unfortunately, in just a few moments, he's going to go down swinging and jumping a lot, apparently. Apparently I'm staying far enough away from him to force him to jump. He's probably got the most health out of most of the enemies in the game, to be honest with you. But once he does go down, you're rewarded with a capsule. This capsule contains a new type of body armor. It will reduce damage to your systems by 50%. Well, that seems pretty useful. Let's grab that. Sweet. Got some fancy plated armor now. Now everything is done except for the arms there. We'll worry about that in a little while. But yeah, now if you go down here, the cave-in has stopped because, well, the auto lookalike is no longer doing anything. Of course, if you're coming through here with the head parts on, you don't have to worry because the blocks will just hit you in the head and deal no damage. So yeah, I neglected to mention that before, but that's how it works. These guys, though, will still deal damage to you. So Make sure you have a weapon ready to deal with them, and don't blast them until they're fully upright, because they're invulnerable until then. Just like that. Before long, we should be done. Sweet, and I got some fire wave back. Nice. Wow. Watch where you're falling there, man. You almost fell on my head. Let's casually use our fire wave to burn down the forest. Absolutely. No environmental protection agency to tell me no in this universe. No, but seriously, don't do that. Only you can prevent forest fires and all that. It would be kind of interesting, though, if you used fire wave in this stage and it like set the areas on fire a little bit. It would be kind of difficult to program probably for a Super Nintendo game, but would be interesting. Well, either way, we've got a robot to meander around in now, so that's fine. Oops. And we also have mud to sink into, so let's not do that. Unless we're grabbing a health part. Just like that. And you can grab that one and get back into your robot. It's difficult to get back into him, though, if he falls all the way down in the mud, so don't let him fall all the way into the mud. It's not cool. Where'd he go? He disappeared from existence! I punched him so hard, I punched him out of existence. Damn, I didn't know the robot was that strong. Anyway, we have Sting Chameleon's weakness in our stock here, but we're not going to use it. As I said before, we're going to do this X-Buster only for the first 8 stages. And then, well, we'll worry about using boss weaknesses after that, because it's not just the 8 Mavericks we have to beat. There's a few other enemies we got to beat other than that. But first, let's beat Sting Chameleon. So he'll shake this top of the screen. Kind of hard to avoid these spikes, I find. And then he'll move out of existence like that. Stand in the middle when he does that. See what he does. If he pauses for a moment, you can shoot him. And then you can go from there. If he doesn't pause, he'll move up to the corners of the screen, just like that. And he'll use Chameleon Sting on you, which you can dodge fairly easily. But yeah, every time he camouflages himself, move to the middle of the screen, and then move accordingly when he does it, which is why I like having the leg parts for this, because it makes it a little easier to actually go where I need to go here. I could be taking more pot shots at him, but I prefer not to, unless I'm out of the way. So it's a bit of a slow go, this boss fight, but we'll be fine. I actually dodged all of them that time. Nice. And sometimes the Chameleon Sting will actually be aimed for you when you're in that corner, so you're not always safe there. But yeah, I'm fairly safe like this. And if the only damage we're going to take from this is the spikes on the wall there, or his tongue occasionally, I think we'll be fine. Okay, one more good shot should do. You made the wrong move today, Chameleon. And just like that, he's gone. The bosses do get easier as you go through the game, though, just because you're picking up enough life upgrades and capsules and everything like that to make them slightly simpler. He didn't even stand a chance. Well, he did. I just didn't let him use the things that would have made him stand a chance. And for defeating Sting Chameleon, we get Chameleon Sting. Original name there. But yes, it shoots a single-pronged projectile that then splits into a 3-pronged projectile. Excuse me. Useful if enemies are diagonal from you, but we also have Boomerang Cutter for that, so it's slightly less useful. And just like that, 7 of the 8 Mavericks have been defeated, and the last one we need to fight is this one, Under the Sea. Maybe we'll see Ariel while we're down there. Probably not. But we will see Launch Octopus. Cool. Now the thing about Launch Octopus, because it's underwater, is that Fire Wave doesn't work. It'll only go out right in front of you and then it'll sputter out. So now Storm Tornado will work slightly better, as you can see. It deals quite a lot of damage too, so it's definitely usable and abusable. Why do we don't need fire powers when we've got wind power, which apparently still works underwater. Go figure. Hey, I don't understand how this game's physics work. I don't question it. Well. Oh, and also, since we're underwater, you can jump a lot higher than you would otherwise be able to. So that's nice. Now, let's just get rid of that real quick. Shred that searchlight of his. And this guy will try to suck us in, but we can dash out of the way of that, so it's not a big deal. And then he goes down fairly easily. You can use Storm Tornado on him there, but I honestly find that the X-Buster makes it go quicker. Oh my god, I'm getting eaten by a fish. Yeah, these guys will try to suck you in as well, and then they'll take you into their body. If you don't kill them quickly enough or mash your way out like this, you will take damage because they'll explode, so that's not good. But you can mash your way out fairly quickly. So now here's the tricky part. Let's just get rid of that searchlight real quick, because if you're not careful, he'll suck you right into some spikes there, which is not very good for your health, obviously. So just be careful about where you're jumping. Cool, got him. See, a lot easier than using Storm Tornado, because even though Storm Tornado deals damage on each hit, I don't think he's actually weak to it. I think he might even be resistant to it, so... Ooh, I filled up another E-Tank. That's one. 2 more to fill up. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a slow go getting those to fill up, but we'll figure it out. Let's not fall on the spikes there. Alright, who's dropping mines? I'm gonna go find out. And hey, now that we're above water, guess what works again? Fire Wave. Sweet! Took that chip down, no problem. I will take Storm Tornado back out, though, because it's about to be useful against the mini-boss down here. You couldn't get down here, by the way, without killing the ship there. It destroys the platform that this is hiding underneath, so... And now you gotta fight a giant sea serpent. He dies to 2 Storm Tornadoes. Go figure. I'm not grabbing that. And we get another life upgrade for coming down here. Cool. Now, if you're concerned when you're dash jumping about falling in the spikes, don't worry, because these pillars that are in the background there are always on solid ground. So, if I dash jump like this, as long as I stay in line with the pillar, I will end up on solid ground. You'll be fine, basically. Alright, let's keep moving here. You could do this stage without the dash parts too, but honestly I find it a lot harder to dodge Launch Octopus's projectiles without it. As I say, did I just avoid fighting this dude? Because there's a second sea serpent to fight, so... Fortunately, he dies pretty quickly too, so... Oh, and I should mention, if you go inside of the piranha things that are going to come up right here, and they suck you in, don't keep your special weapons equipped, because every shot against them will act like a single X-Buster shot. So even if you have like Storm Tornado or Fire Wave or something like that, you'll use up a lot of your weapon energy trying to get out of their mouths there. So maybe switch to something else, so like the X-Buster, so you don't have to worry about wasting weapon energy. Alright, Launch Octopus, you and me, let's do this. You're the one I saved for last, so we're going to see how this all goes. I didn't even need to charge up here because he was just going to do that, so... Alright, so in addition to the projectiles that he shoots, the little missiles, he'll do this cyclone thing, and he'll also shoot those little fish projectiles at you that will home in on you. So, gotta be a little careful, but... Yeah, as you can see, if you shoot ahead of you, you're usually pretty safe. And you can take this opportunity to just run against the current and then shoot him with a large buster shot, so... Not too bad right now, especially since I have the armor upgrade, but... And there is a way to prevent him from doing the whirlwind thing and the fish projectile thing as well, the homing... yeah, I guess for lack of a better word, the homing torpedoes. But, I'm not going to use that right now, because as I said before, we're doing this part buster only. Just like that. Especially with the armor upgrade, it makes that boss significantly easier, because I would have been about at half health right now if I didn't have it, but we got him all the same. Mission accomplished. Alright, we defeated the 8 Mavericks. Let's go home. And for defeating Launch Octopus, we get Homing Torpedo? I think you made a bit of a mistake there, guys. It's Homing Torpedo. There are a few spelling and grammatical English errors in this game, so just something you got to get used to, that's all. Not a big deal. But we're not done yet, because as Zero said, he was going to go find Sigma's fortress, so finally, we found Sigma's fortress. Let's go in and put an end to his war against the humans. Alright, works for me. Why did we teleport to this random cliff, though? Anyway, so now that you've defeated all 8 of the Mavericks, you can head on over to Sigma's stage, his fortress. So where exactly is that on the map there? Oh, it's not on the map. Well, that explains why we couldn't find it. Alright, fine. But we will head over to Sigma's fortress so that we can grab a hold, see if we can make him stop being a jerk to all the humans and the other Reploids once and for all. So let's head on inside. Don't worry, there is still other stuff to collect in the other stages there, but we'll go back for that in a little bit. Let's split up. I'll go in first, and then you can slip in while I keep the main defense force busy. Alright, sounds good, Zero. The other thing that you can get, by the way, that we did not get before coming here is there's an arm capsule upgrade back in Flame Mammoth stage, along with a few other goodies in other stages, but we'll go back for those later. There's a specific reason why I didn't go for the ones in the arm upgrade in Flame Mammoth stage there, and I will tell you what that reason is in a few moments. Just got to get through this stage first, obviously. There we go. Alright, now for this part, you're above a big bottomless pit, and there will be enemies here, so instead of trying to deal with it with the X-Buster, you're probably going to want to use Homing Torpedo. It's a little more effective at dealing with those guys, so if you have the arm upgrade, you can actually use the fully charged Rolling Shield to prevent those guys from knocking you off of the platforms and straight back down into the bottomless pit, but we should be okay. Well, never mind. And yeah, if you do fall off, you have to start all over again, or you die. So yeah, don't do either of the above. Thankfully, we didn't die that time, because that would have been problematic. All right, I got to shoot ahead of me, so let's do that and then go. Okay, that worked, even though I got damaged. It's fine. We're still fine. And I got up here. Cool. Alright, let's get Fire Wave back out and head on through. Okay, well, that gave me a little weapon energy back for something else, too, so that's good. Ow. Yeah, Fire Wave is really good in this game. So is Storm Tornado, and so are a few of the other weapons, the ones that you can use for utility. So they'll be useful to us, that's for sure. Vile. I know you. You were in that ride armor back there. That's his name, by the way. His name is Vile, so they don't really explain that either. It's in the manual. That's how it is for a lot of the story in these Super Nintendo games. Stay back, X. I'll take him on. Alright, Zero, you do that, and I'll head up and I'll head around, so. Oh, we can't go up. So do I just follow after Zero then? I guess so. Sounds like he's fighting him. What do you mean, boom? That doesn't sound like any weapon Zero's had. Did he learn the rolling shield off screen? I wouldn't be shocked. Uh-oh. He's captured him. X, do what I tell you, or he's history. Don't listen to him, X. Go ahead and blast him. Well, that's what I was planning on doing anyway, so. Dream on, Zero. X knows he can't defeat me. My armored carrier is more than a match for his ancient weapons. We'll see about that. I've gotten a bit of an upgrade since the last time we fought. Of course, I'm not doing any better than the last time we fought, but, you know. I'm still blasting him. He still doesn't have a health bar, though, which is kind of problematic. Ow. Zero, he's not dying! Zero, what do I do? Should I use a special weapon on him, maybe? Maybe he has a weakness. I mean, I can do this all day as long as I don't F it up like that, Vile. I don't know about you. Damn it. Maybe, but I'm not through yet. Zero, what are you doing? Zero, that's not a good idea. Zero! Ah, crap. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ha! What a worthless gesture. I can't be defeated so easily. So, X, it's just you and me now. Yeah, you and me and all this health I charged up. Ha! What the? Where did that energy come from? Well, it really doesn't matter how much energy you absorb, X. You are still far too weak. Prepare to be terminated. I don't know, Boba Fett clone. The only one who's going to be terminated here is you! He's weak to the rolling shield, so I'm going to try to hit him with that as much as I can. Uh-oh. He can still trap you in the little... that thing. You don't want to get hit by that because then he'll be able to get some free damage off on you. So just try to avoid it as best you can. Wow. And this guy's more jumpy than Boomerang Kuwanger. What the hell? Well, I got him all the same, so that's fine. You can beat him with just the Axe Buster there, but he's even more jumpy, so I would not recommend it. Now, crap. Zero! You are more powerful than you were before, but Sigma is much more than he appears to be. You're going to need an edge. Take my arm cannon, and your attack power should increase. Good luck, X. Dr. Kane, send Zero back to HQ. I've got some unfinished business here. So yes, we now receive Zero's arm parts, which allows us to charge up one stage further than normal and shoot the DNA shot. Honestly, not a big fan of DNA shot, though, because if you don't hit with every single strand, for lack of a better word, of the DNA, it doesn't deal as much damage as this. So I usually won't use it unless I'm charging up special weapons all the way, which, by the way, you can now do by holding down the shot button when you have special weapons out, and then you'll do some special attack, such as that. It's pretty nice. Helps a lot. I'm going to use an E-Tank since I'm a little low on HP. And I'm going to use the other one since that didn't fill me up. I don't think that filled me up either. No, it did. Okay. That is in the Super Nintendo version of Mega Man X. The arm parts that you get from Flame Mammoth stage are identical to the arm parts that you get from Zero here. In the Maverick Hunter X version for PSP, you actually get a separate buster from Zero, and it's a lot better than the DNA shot there. It actually deals quite a bit more damage, and it's basically just a better version of this shot right here. It's like a larger, more powerful version of it. So I like that change a lot in the Maverick Hunter X version. And to be honest with you, we may come back and play Maverick Hunter X one day just because it's a pretty good... I like it. It's not like a terrible remake of the game. Sometimes they take a few too many liberties with remakes and stuff like that, and they do too much. That one, I would say, does not. But we'll come back to that later. For now, let's make our way through the rest of this stage and see what we can do against the enemies here. Now that we have our fancy new DNA shot. Still can't break through that dude's shield, but I don't need to break through his shield here because I can just go like this. Ow. That's not supposed to happen. Take two. But yeah, you're supposed to, if you dash there, you're basically supposed to go all the way through as long as you hold right. But apparently it didn't work exactly as it was planned. Now for this section, I'm going to charge up Chameleon Sting there, because when you use it, it gives you invulnerability for a temporary period of time. So I'm going to use that to get up this area without having to deal with all these crazy enemies. Ow. Or at least not most of them. And that brings you all the way up here. What waits for us back here? This looks like a boss room. Oh, not you again. But yes, now you have to fight the Mavericks again, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Now, Boomerang Kuwanger is weak to Homing Torpedo, so let's give that a shot. As you can see, it homes in on him and deals a bit of more damage, about as much damage as a regular charge shot, and it even hits him while he's teleporting, so that's pretty nice. As soon as you hit him with it, send another one out, and then just go from there. Now, if he's in his little invulnerability frames, it won't hit him, even though it is his weakness, but we should be fine. As you can see, pretty easy now that we have his weakness there. And that's the idea, is that by the time you get here, the idea behind the whole thing is that X is so strong that he doesn't even need to use the X-Buster anymore. He can just use their weaknesses against them, because at this point the Mavericks that we're fighting are an obstacle rather than the main event. So that's what I think anyway. Knock knock, open up. I'm just tanking damage at this point. I probably shouldn't be, but you know. Go right over this guy. There we go. Ow. Alright, fine, I'm getting out of here. Okay, so now we're going to another boss room. I'll just give you a hint here. The boss that we're about to fight is weak to shotgun ice, so let's give them that. But this boss is a new boss. This is the spider boss, and it is a bit of a pain. Because basically what it'll do is sometimes it'll shoot out those little spiders, but it will play a spider game with you. So each of the little sideways things that you'll see on the screen there, he will move across them until he hits the ground. And you gotta kind of look at where he's gonna go so that you can shoot him. I like using shotgun ice here better than the charge shot because he's not vulnerable to anything other than a charge shot and shotgun ice there, so I prefer using shotgun ice because I don't have to charge it up. It just makes it easier for me to fight him. I can worry about dodging if need be. It's harder to fight his little spider bots, but I mean, it's fine. As long as he doesn't use those too many times, we should be alright. And as the boss fight goes along, he'll use the spiders more often, and he'll get a little quicker at getting down on the floor, so I think I should be fine here. Yep. I didn't hit him, but that way, okay. Over. I think he's coming all the way over here. Yep. Okay. I messed that one up a little. Alright, this is getting... Oh, I don't have an E-tank. Alright, well, we may die here then. Especially if he does that. I gotta do a little bit more meandering now than I did before. Get up to the top here so I don't... Okay, I fell on one. That's not good. We should be... Okay, over here. Don't drop any more spiders, please. One more hit. Over, he's coming this way. There we go. Sweet. Got him at the edge of our health bar. I followed the path with my eyes and I was like, oh crap, I gotta leave. But we got him all the same. Mission accomplished. So, we didn't find Sigma, though. Maybe he's further into the fortress there. I'll have to go check. But before we do that, now would be a good time to go back to all the stages you've been to before, now that we have all the upgrades for our armor and stuff there, to grab the stuff we didn't grab before. So what have we not grabbed? Let's see, we got everything in Chill Penguin's stage. We didn't get anything in Flame Mammoth's stage there, so we should go back and get that. We missed one thing here. We also missed one thing here. We got everything here, but I got to show that off anyway, to show the Storm Eagle's ship crashing into it. We don't need to get anything there, and we do need to go back here, but we don't need to go back there just yet. We got everything here as well. So first things first, we'll just go all the way around. We'll go start at Flame Mammoths, and we'll just go all the way around the board till we get back to Armored Armadillos, and then we'll head back here. So let's go do that. Of course, the thing in Armored Armadillos, it would have been a lot easier if I actually looked up exactly how the mechanics work for that, because I don't quite recall, but we'll figure that out. So yeah, now if you go down here, the lava that was here has turned into ice. So you can actually walk here without dying, which is pretty nice. Makes it a lot easier to get that done. So now, if you wanted the arm parts and you didn't want to go and get them from zero there, you can actually get them from here. There's a very precise jump you can make off this ledge to grab that ledge there, and as long as you have the leg parts and the head parts, you can get up there. You can smash the blocks with your head. I'm not very good at the jump, which is why I usually get the parts from zero, and then you can get to the arm capsule. But as you can see, This jump is a little tricky, and I'm not exactly the greatest at it. You need to get it like pixel perfect, like on the very edge of the screen. See, I barely got it there, but I didn't jump quickly enough. You need to hit it like on the very edge of the screen, yeah, like that, and then go all the way up. And the capsule would be right here. But, well, I already got the arm parts, so the capsule is no longer there. So let's head down across the ground here, because as you may recall, if we go across the ground here, there's the life upgrade. Sweet. I'm going to use this just to make it through here a little easier. Get over to the other upgrade that you can get here without having to deal with all these guys' shenanigans. Grab another one up for myself. Nice. And you can break this part with the leg upgrade and grab yourself an E-tank. Sweet. And now, since we've already done this stage, you can actually escape from it if you press start on Escape U, or Escape Unit. That lets you get out of the stage without any trouble. I think I know why that's so blurry. I think it's blurry like that because it's in full screen. Because it wasn't that blurry when I was playing it non-full screen, so... Well, anyway. Let's head back to Boomerang Kwanger's stage, and we'll take care of our business here. I think we should use Storm Tornado here because... I think it actually goes through their shield, if I remember right. Now, he jumped at me without me being able to shoot it at him, but, you know, like that. Well, it went through on the other side a little bit. There we go. What Electric Spark does, by the way, is if it hits a wall or a surface, it will shoot up and down from that surface. So it's not bad. Use this just to get through here so that the lasers can shoot and those guys can run around if they want, but I can get through here without having to worry about them anymore. And then we'll stick to the good old Fire Wave to get through these turtles. Dark Turtles? No, that's a totally different game. I've never even played that game. I don't even know why I know what Dark Turtles are. Anyway. And then best way to get up this tower without getting too much damage from those other guys, if you're not good at just running back and forth like I was, use a fully charged rolling shield. Because they die in one hit from the fully charged rolling shield. Now, this won't protect you from the spikes, so you still have to kind of run around a little bit, but at least you don't have to worry about those guys running into you and totally messing you up. And you can take that off by switching to a different weapon, so that's what we'll do. Now let's get to the top of this tower. And then we will be in good shape. Doesn't do a lot of damage to those guys. Oh well, deals enough damage to those guys though. Let's get out of here before they shoot me. There we go. Guess I could use this on these guys. And then use the homing torpedoes on the other guys. Or just do that, that works too. Should have thought of this in the first place. Oh well. Now anyway, there's two ways to grab this. You can either use your boomerang cutter to grab it, or you can use a fully charged shotgun ice because it creates a platform for you, and you can ride the platform and then jump off of it. I'm going to try to do that, but I'm not very good at it, so we'll see if it actually works. But yeah, you can basically do that and then ride the platform to get over there. Let's try one more time. There we go. But yeah, if that doesn't work out too well for you, or if you don't have the arm parts yet, you can always just stand over here, use a boomerang cutter, and it'll pull the heart right to you. So that's good. Let's get on out of here. Almost done collecting everything. We just need to get one more heart tank there. And that heart tank happens to be in Sting Chameleon's stage, so let's head over there. Now, Sting Chameleon stage, it's a little less obvious right from the start. It's like, oh, well, what happened here? But if you beat Launch Octopus, there's now water in this stage. All over the place. And it's in a certain spot that we needed it to be in order to actually grab one of the heart upgrades. And those little cricket-looking guys there, they will actually dash across the water there. They're sort of like water spiders or those water skater bugs. As you can see, they can slide right along the water. So they're nifty, but nothing too threatening anyway. I want to say that the robot that was up there is back again. Yeah, because it's causing all kinds of mayhem there. But I don't think you can stop it this time. So, because I think since we got the arm parts already, it just does that all the time now. But we don't need to even go through there, because once we go here, we can actually head down here. And as I said before, you can actually jump higher in the water. So now that the water's here, you can do a dash jump right here, go all the way across, and grab the last life tank, life upgrade. You couldn't grab that before, unless I think if you had a fully charged shotgun ice, you might be able to ride it off the cliff and then do a dash jump, and if you get it picture perfect, it'll work, but too much of a risk. I'll just wait until the water's there and then I'll go grab it. That's my prerogative anyway. Okay, couple more things to go do now. First things first, let's go to Spark Mandrill stage. I probably should have waited to get the E-Tank here, so I could just show you. First of all, here's the remnants of the ship that Storm Eagle was flying. And second of all, if we go a little further, those lights that were here originally, they're not here anymore. So in a lot of places in the factory here, there will be blackouts now, and certain things that were powered before are no longer powered. It's a little bit different going through here without the power being there. It does make the mini-boss at the halfway point a little bit easier as well, because he won't be able to shoot lightning at you, because he can't charge himself up anymore. So that's how that works, but nothing else for us to do here, because we got everything from there already, so let's head out. And last things last, before we continue through Sigma's Fortress, let's give the tech guys some opportunity to examine the place a little bit. We gotta go over to Armored Armadillo stage one more time, because there's a special upgrade that we can grab here now that we have all the other upgrades. So let's go get it. This is also a good spot to fill up your life tanks if you want to, because these bats take only one hit, and they have a fairly high tendency to drop things for you, especially this dude, because that is an old school bat from the original Mega Man games, and he has a high chance, at least from what I understand, of dropping extra lives for you. So that's pretty nice, and I mean, we're already at the top now, but if you want to fill up on your sub-tanks there, you can do it here, but I find, honestly, there's an easier way to do it later on in a different stage, so we'll go do that in a different place, but for now, let's continue through the stage, do the best we can. I think you have to go through the stage with either without getting hit or having full HP in order for this to work, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I didn't exactly look up the necessities for getting this stuff to work here, so. But I'll see what I can do. I think you do have to be at full HP for the last part of this, though. Show you this guy dying in the whatchamacallit, so that you can break these blocks up ahead with your face. Hang on one sec, once we get there. Yeah, right here. So these blocks can break with the head upgrade, so the helmet upgrade, so you can grab these little life capsules. Not all that worth it, but I mean, it's there, I guess, so. Ow. So maybe that does like a half a point of energy. That's interesting. Alright, let's keep going through here. And once we're at the edge of the stage, I'll show you what to do from there. Because I think I know what you need to do, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, that should help a little bit. Try to keep all the enemies at bay here. Fire wave. You gotta get all the way to the end of the stage in order to reap the reward here, so. I don't think that's gonna work. That move's a little too slow for my tastes. get Fire Wave out again. Actually, I'll show you it with Storm Tornado now, because you can use this as well to fight this guy. Takes a little longer than Fire Wave, though, so... as you can see. And I think you can still get up here, but I think it's a little tricky. Yeah, see, you can, if you jump just right, you can still get up here, but he's more weak to Fire Wave than he is to that, so that's why I usually use that instead, so... Alright, let's get out X-Buster, shoot ahead of ourselves here. So we want to get rid of those bats, we want to get rid of these birds, we want to get rid of anything in front of us so that we don't hit it accidentally. Jump off here, grab this, and then fall off. I know it seems counterintuitive, but don't worry, it's for a good reason. And now you'll start back at this checkpoint, so not too far away from that. And you're going to want to do that, grab the life upgrade there, and then fall off again a couple of times. So we'll go do that. That should break those bats. Okay, that's not good. You have to approach this with full health as well, so, well, now that I'm at full health, that should be fine, but you have to grab that with full health in order for it to work, from what I understand anyway. So we need to grab it, I think, 4 times, if I remember right, and then you can get it. I guess I could show you full Fire Wave while I'm at it. So there's what that does. And it will continue all the way down the screen as long as you stay on, as long as it stays on the screen with you. So it's a pretty good way of staying invincible all the way down, but you can't change weapons until it's done, so just keep that in mind. I forget if you have to come here with 4 full sub-tanks as well, but I'm pretty sure that's not necessary. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Because to be honest with you, I don't normally just grab this, because I don't really need it for much. It's nice to have, but it's not really a necessity. So, alright, I think that was 3, so now we gotta do it one more time. Before it'll let us leave. Okay, I need this to hit these 2. I need this. There we go. Good way to fill up your sub-tanks, though, because just going down this path will get you a few life energies and stuff. Ah, there it is. I give you a special present. Now, enter the capsule, please. Oh, okay. What kind of special present? Why were you dressed up in a black belt gi? Huh, let's check it out. Is it another arm capsule upgrade, or what? Let's find out. Oh, okay. So now, if you roll the control pad, just like in Street Fighter, you can have Mega Man X use the Hadoken. What it does is it kills whatever it hits in one hit. That includes bosses, and also includes the final boss if you can hit him with it, so... Unfortunately, I don't appear to be very good at it. I didn't exactly play Street Fighter when I was young, so... There we go. Alright, let's just head to the end of the stage, honestly. I don't need any more lives. We don't need to get up to 9 lives to finish off this rest of Sigma's Fortress there, so let's just head back here. And if you return to a boss room after beating them, he'll walk to the middle of the room, and you'll teleport out. So, that's how that works. Alright, so now that we have all the upgrades we can grab from the Maverick stages, let's continue with Sigma's Fortress. I really like the theme in this part of the fortress. It's really cool. It's probably my favorite out of all... Oh, damn it. Out of all of the Sigma's Fortress themes. I know a lot of people really like the first Fortress theme, but I like this one, honestly. This is my jam. Oh, we're all full on sub-tanks, are we? Nice. That's good. Ow. Well, that wasn't very smart. Okay, got that guy. Now what's in here? Oh, I know what this room means. Another fight with Chill Penguin. So yeah, you'll fight all 8 of the Mavericks again as you go through Sigma's Fortress here, so you just gotta keep that in mind. Chill Penguin, is weak to Fire Wave. Now, if you hit him with the Fire Wave, you can actually chain him with it if he's not using the dash. If he is using the dash, you'll try to use it, and then he'll become invulnerable. So, if he's not using it, you can just stun him against the wall like this. So, see, now he's invulnerable because he's using the dash, so I gotta not use it, and then, yep. That's all she wrote. So if I had come here and used Flame Mammoth's upgrade on him before, that's how that would have worked. But we got him all the same, so no problem. Ooh, gimme, 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 gimme. Steal his ride armor there. Very nice. Oh, get out of here. I can't tell if the punch does more damage as well when you dash in the ride armor. It might, because you can kind of just dash through people. It does deal a buttload of knockback to them, though, so that's interesting. Let me get out before that explodes. Got one of two ways to go. I think we'll go this way. I could use homing torpedo for this part, but I think we'll just go, honestly. It's not that big of a deal. There we go. Well, let's not get that happening. Now, you could use Chameleon Sting on our next boss here, because that's their weakness, but the good old-fashioned X-Buster should do here. With the leg upgrade, that is. Because our next boss is Storm Eagle. But yeah, as you can see, that can push you quite a bit of ways if you don't dash against it. So now just imagine fighting him without the dash upgrade, like I did when I was first playing this game. It's a little more challenging. I think there's less headroom here, though, than there was on the ship, so he can, like, actually hit you on the way down from that, from this. But we got them all the same. No problem whatsoever. Really, if you wanted to, you could just go get the leg upgrade from Chill Penguin stage and then go to all the other Mavericks before beating Chill Penguin, but I like to beat the stages when I go to them. I usually don't like to save stuff for later. Wow. Get off of me, you two. There we go. I was going to say this might call for some Chameleon Sting, but I think we'll be fine without it. I could be wrong, though. Let's try homing torpedo. Damn it. Just get this way. There we go. Alright, now we're good. I might need an E-tank, though, before I go into the next room. Alright, that's fine. It didn't heal all the way to full again, but this should be alright. Before going to the next room, you may want to equip Chameleon Sting, because it's actually super useful against the boss coming up here, so... Because this is a new boss. Apparently we're fighting the wall now. That's great. But this is Rangda Bangda, and it is weak to Chameleon Sting. So you'll fight the eyeballs, and then you'll fight the nose. Don't touch the teeth. I feel like that goes without saying, but just don't touch the teeth. Yeah, as you... get through the fight a little bit, you will slowly defeat each part. Ow. And when you defeat a part, it will break, and it will force the boss fight to change for its remainder. So you'll see what will happen soon, because I think we'll break the eyeball before we break the... I should be on this side while I'm fighting that, so I can go like this. There we go. But yeah, if you break the eyeball before fighting the breaking the nose there, the walls will cave in on you, and the nose will permanently be in a state of movement like that. Like, it'll stop, but then it'll go again. Thankfully, I got it fairly easily. Just don't fall on the spikes, and you should be fine. Now, the next boss of the next stage, not so easy to cheese with boss weapons. Excuse me, because the next boss's weakness is a boss weapon that's actually going to come in handy as a utility tool for the remainder of the stage. So we'll have to work on that. I do like the theme here, though, too. It's pretty nice. It's kind of foreboding, almost, I guess. So, it's nice. use homing torpedo. Make this a little easier to fight those guys off. Who's in this one? I forget. Let's go find out. I think that's Armored Armadillo. Yeah. He's weak to Electric Spark. But not while he's rolling like this. When he's not rolling, you can zap off his shields. Honestly, though, I find it harder to fight him like this than I do to fight him with just the X-Buster. But that's just me, so... It does prevent him from having invulnerability frames, though, while he's barreling around the room like that, so that's pretty nice. And don't worry, you won't need Electric Spark for anything else, so not going to be necessary. What's next? I think I want torpedoes for this. Yeah, that worked out okay. Let's see if we can grab that. Maybe not. Maybe if I use one of these. No, that while I'm jumping, that doesn't work. All right. I don't really know how you'd grab that. Maybe if you used a fully charged shotgun ice, but I don't need that badly, so I'm not gonna bother. Sweet. Next up is... I forget. Let's just find out, and then I'll switch to the weapon. Sting Chameleon. Okay, he is weak to Boomerang Cutter. So we'll just use that on him. And you can actually loop Sting Chameleon with Boomerang Cutter. It's pretty nice, so I'll show you how to do it. Shoot it with him, then you wait, go to the middle of the room, move out of the way, shoot it again. Sometimes he'll break the loop by using Chameleon Sting, but typically he won't. It just depends on when you shoot the cutter out. Basically, by the time he gets up on the wall there, he will be vulnerable again, so then you just gotta go from there. Not too bad. Pretty easy with his weakness, which again is why I wasn't really using the boss weaknesses originally, because they're the main event in the level, so they're meant to be a little more challenging than that, you know what I mean? So, let's get rid of that guy. Ow. Get rid of that guy and that guy. Sweet. Now to grab these treasures, I do know how to get these ones. You need to use Boomerang Cutter. So let's use that, and then get it back by doing this. Good. Now we're in good shape with that. What's in here? Ah, Spark Mandrill. Okay. He's weak to Shotgun Ice, and he is pretty easy to quote-unquote loop with Shotgun Ice as well, so... Because if you shoot him with it, well, there you go. He will get frozen. And it will prevent him from doing pretty much anything for a moment. Basically, wait till his arms go back up, then shoot again. Right about there. And that will keep freezing him over and over and over again. And he can do some things, you know, when he breaks out if you're not quick enough, but it's way easier than fighting him the legit way, that's for sure. He's probably one of the hardest, at least in my opinion, if not the hardest Maverick to beat legit with just the X-Buster. But he's really easy to cheese with his weakness, so I suppose it sort of balances out, doesn't it? Ha! You won't be swallowing me today. Well, I guess they will be swallowing me today. This part we can get, though, with without having to do any crazy jumping, because we have water to help us. So, of course, since there is water there, you know what's going to be fighting us here, so in just a moment. Oh, I used the Hadoken. Nice. I must have accidentally rolled the stick. Whoops. Okay, so, for this next part... Launch Octopus is not weak to Boomerang Cutter, but I'll show you something that you can actually do with him to make him a little bit easier to deal with if you use Boomerang Cutter. So, you can actually do that. Didn't seem to do anything. Let's hit him with it again. One more time, and there you go. You can actually cut off his tentacles, which makes him a little easier to deal with his actual weakness, which is Rolling Shield. There you go. Easy as that. Honestly, I prefer just shooting him with the X-Buster most of the time, though, once you cut his arms off like that. It's just a little easier, I find, because you can kind of protect yourself from the front against the torpedoes with it, so just It's a little easier in my opinion. Okay, so what we want here is we want a fully charged Chameleon Sting. So we can go across the top here. Grab that, grab that, grab that. Get it through here. And there you go. Done and done. Now, Flame Mammoth here is weak to Storm Tornado, so we'll use that on him. He's a big guy, so it makes sense he's weak to the thing that beats the big enemies, so... And you can actually hit him with it twice if you shoot it at him quickly enough. Now, like that. Pretty big pushover with Storm Tornado, if I'm being honest with you. It's probably because it's one of the most broken special weapons that you can use in like the entire series, so yeah, there's that. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's all 8 of the Mavericks. So once we step through this door, we'll be at, not the point of no return, but it'll be the last boss before we fight the final boss. So let's see what we can find back here at the very end of Sigma's Fortress. A giant mech. How fitting. He's weak to Boomerang Cutter, though, so give him hell with it. Don't fall underneath him, though, because even with the armor parts, if you don't dash through it, it deals some pretty good damage. So, and then he'll start doing this, which is a pain. It's a big, giant, fuck-off projectile attack, so I'm not doing so hot against him. And yeah, he'll start going real fast after a while, so you gotta be a little careful. Not exactly being careful, though. Because I know I can beat him, so... But we had enough Boomerang Cutters there. If you don't heal up your Boomerang Cutters with most of the weapon energies that you can pick up in this level, you may not have enough to beat him, and you'll have to resort to the X-Buster. But thankfully, he's not too hard to beat with the X-Buster. He does get pretty quick, but you can take him. I believe in you. Believe in the me who believes in you. Whoops. And that's it. One last stage to go. It doesn't really say specifically, but there is one more stage to go through. We have to go and fight Sigma himself now. So let's head in, now that we have all the upgrades, see what we can do. Now let's see here. Okay, we have one sub-tank that is not completely full here. So, if you head into this level and you're like me and you don't have a completely full set of sub-tanks, you may want to have 4 sub-tanks for this final boss fight, especially if it's your first time fighting him. Because he's a little challenging, but if you fight him, use up your sub-tanks, and then die, or if you get here, like I have, and you haven't filled up all your sub-tanks recently, you can fully charge a rolling shield, and if you go up this cliff, there are caterpillars that will pop out of the wall here, and they will drop weapon and life energy for you, along with 1-ups. Fairly often, too, so if you just slide along the wall like this, you can collect up enough energy to fully fill up your sub-tanks. And you can do this over and over again. Like if you die, you end up at the bottom of the boss area here, like all the way down to the bottom of this giant shaft here. So you can just keep using the rolling shield's fully charged attack and slide along the wall like this until you hear the golden sound like that. That means all my sub-tanks are full. I don't have 9 lives, but that should be fine. We shouldn't be needing that. But now all my sub-tanks are full, so now we can head on up. And switch walls, just in case there's more of those dudes. Probably not, but let's head on up here. Now I'm going to see on the first phase if I can hit it with the Hadoken, but I sometimes have a difficult time doing it, but we'll see.
Welcome! I see you managed to get here by yourself. Very impressive. I could destroy you, but I would not rob my pet of that pleasure. He knows how to deal with betrayers.
Then shouldn't he be eating you?
Should you live, I will be waiting for you. Don't disappoint me, X.
You gonna send your dog after me, Sigma? Really? Get that shit out of here. I'm not here to fight your dog. I'm here to fight you. Alright, we'll stop using Hadoken now.
Excellent job, X. I see why Zero counted on you. You are almost as good a hunter as I was.
Again, from the manual, Sigma used to be a Maverick Hunter, because the virus wasn't a direct result of him, but then the virus hit him, and, well, now he's a Maverick. Great. The dramatic irony.
But the time of your destruction has arrived. You shall regret ever having defied me.
Alright, Sigma, let's go. Of course, he's going to use a lightsaber now. We already fought a dude with a lightsaber in the last episode of Kingdom Hearts there, and now we got to fight another one. So Sigma will jump along the walls here, and he's weak to electric spark, so jump up on the walls to get him to come up here. When he ends up below you, fall off the wall, use electric spark, and rinse repeat until he dies. It's pretty easy. You can hit him with electric spark when he comes down from the wall as well, right about there, but it's hard to get the timing down because electric spark is so slow moving, so I usually just prefer doing this. Hang on, gotta scratch my forehead. There we go. Hard to do that in these action games while also playing and play effectively, you know. Yeah, just hug the wall, shoot an electric spark when you come down, and then just go from there. There, I got the timing there. It's kind of difficult though, so I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you really know what you're doing. Let's see if this will kill him. Maybe. No, not quite. Fully charged electric spark. Not quite good enough. That was, though. And that's the end of Sigma, ladies and gentlemen. We've beaten the dude who's been spreading the Maverick virus. Oh, no. But yes, this is Sigma's final form. We have to beat him inside of his wolf armor in order to defeat him once and for all. Basically, to get to the wolf armor, the only thing that's vulnerable is the head there. So you have to climb up using the hand parts that he's got there. And then you can shoot him with rolling shield, or a fully charged buster shot will also work. But it has to be the DNA shot or you'll deal 0 damage to him, so just so you know. I prefer rolling shield because, well, I don't have to charge up in order to do it, so. That there, that electric attack there, is kind of difficult to dodge. Ow. It's kind of hard to tell you the timing, but basically, as soon as he's shooting the one down, you want to dash across so that you basically let the little electric attack pass underneath you, and then you fly across the screen before the other one hits you. But keep an eye on your health here, because it'll be very easy for you to go down on health. It takes about 3, maybe 4 hits for you to get down to the point where you're going to need another E-tank, so. Yeah, just keep an eye on that. Ow. There's a lot to pay attention to here, but just keep your wits about you. Jump off once you get this to fall on you, and you'll make it. Oh, God. Okay. No bad AI on that? Okay, we're good. Just like that. It's kind of tricky, though. Alright. That didn't really fill me up too high. That sucks. See, like, just after it appears there. Just like that. Alright. Let's keep going. See what we can do. Now I gotta keep an eye on my health even more because it only healed me for a little bit there. When you see the wolf claws falling, by the way, that's a good time to jump, because if you jump and you make contact with the top of them, they won't damage you, even though they could damage you if you stayed on the floor like that. So yeah, just try to keep an eye on them and jump when you can. Don't stand on them, by the way, while they're doing that, or else you'll get damaged. Unless you stand on the very edge like this, then you can stand on it, but I prefer doing it the way that they intended for you to do it, so. Alright, we're gonna need another tank here. That one didn't fill me up to full either. What the hell? I'm getting robbed by these E-tanks. Okay, that one's coming down. They usually don't immediately shoot electricity out of them at the same time as each other, for one, and 2, right after they do it the first time. Like, they'll shoot it, and then if you see them open up immediately after they shoot it, they're usually coming towards you, so just get ready to jump. Again, it's a lot to pay attention to, but we got them all the same. Hooray! Here comes some more English.
No, it's not possible. I'm a Reploid. I can't be destroyed by you. Why, X? Why you done this to us? Without the humans, my Reploid brothers could have ushered in a new age.
I know. Well, that ocean's never going to be the same. But Sigma's gone. We've defeated him and ended the war, as the text crawl says. Gotta give it a second to come up, though, so it's not like, you know. The war has ended, for now, and peace has been restored. But those who, again, English, those who sacrificed themselves for the victory will never return. Yeah, okay. That's funny for reasons I can't tell you till the next game. Exhausted, X gazes at the destruction he helped cause and wonders why he chose to fight. Was there another way? No, X, there was not. Sometimes you have to fight so that peace can last. That's the moral of the story here, basically. Standing on the cliff, the answers seem to escape him. He only knows that he'll fight the Mavericks again before he finds his answer. How long will he keep on fighting? How long will his pain last? Probably until he uses another E-Tank. I mean, we still have one full one, and hopefully it's not one of those crap ones like the one I was using in the fight there. Maybe only the X-Buster on his hand, wouldn't that be the Z-Buster now, knows for sure. So yeah, like I just said, moral of the story, sometimes you gotta fight to protect the peace that you want so badly. And that is ideally what X learned here today, but having played the rest of the series, I can tell you, it's a hard lesson for him to learn. And that's it. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are start and finish today. Like I said before, this game and the X series that I'll be covering for the channel while I'm going through the next few games are pretty quick and easy ones. Usually I can get them done like that. 1 or 2 streams, they're usually done. I think, to be honest with you, though, when we start getting into the later games in the X series, it may take like 3, 4, 5. I think X6 might honestly take like 5 or 6 streams to get through because it's, well, it's one of those games where it's, I'll just say it's not easy, and we'll get to it later after that. But yes, the credits are rolling, and they're showing us all the enemies that were available in each of the stages there. So that's a nice little tribute to the guys that I just blew up. Why not? And, you know, the Mavericks that I also just blew up, so there's that. I don't know why X couldn't have just hitched a ride on a bike or something, or a ride armor all the way through here, why he has to walk all the way back, but, well, whatever. I'm kind of waiting because I know that in a few minutes it's going to give me actual credits after they're done showing off all the Mavericks. And then I can tell you about my opinion on this game, though you've pretty much heard it already. Is really good. That's the general gist of it. Maybe we should have gone in boss order based on the credits there. Oh well. I did it my own way, which is kind of what counts here, because it's a game that sort of lets you do things your own way. You have to be slightly skilled in order to do them your own way, but we made it. And me, playing as Mega Man X. Well, thank you, Capcom. I appreciate the special thanks. Not directly aimed at me, but just at the player. So yes, that's it for Mega Man X. We'll be moving on through the rest of the X series after I play the next game that I'm going to choose for myself, which will be happening on the next stream on Monday. And after I'm done with this stream, I will be posting up the schedule for next week. It's the same as this week, though. It's going to be Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, so just so that you know. But until then, we have to wait through the credits, so I can tell you, this game is phenomenal. Basically, if I had to describe it in only a certain number of words, I would probably call it lightning in a bottle. Capcom knew what they were doing with the original Mega Man series, but they knew that they had to spice it up in some way as they were moving into the Super Nintendo era. They could have just kept doing the same thing that they did, but people were starting to lose interest in the Mega Man series, so they said, we gotta make this fancy and shiny and new for the Super Nintendo era, and they debuted Mega Man X in 1993. And it was really well done. revitalized the X series and created a spin-off that would last for many, many years to come. And it was not always the highest quality. Matter of fact, I would say that from here it pretty much goes downhill in quality, though it stays steady in certain spots. But that's my personal opinion because, as I said previously, if I had to pick a single game that I could say is objectively the best game of all time, not necessarily saying that it doesn't have its own errors and shortcomings, but as a complete package, Mega Man X is objectively my personal favorite game of all time. There's other games that might rival it in terms of subjectivity and the experience that I had, but, well, we'll get to those eventually.
You have won a temporary victory, X. What you destroyed was only a temporary body. My spirit remains intact.
Do robots even have spirits? Are you just talking about your programming?
In time, I will find other bodies strong enough to do my bidding, and I will return. I shall see you very soon, X. Very soon.
Damn it. Sequel bait. Well, we knew that was going to happen anyway. I mean, this game's been out for, what, as long as I've... Well, no, actually slightly shorter than I've been alive, like 25 years at this point, so you pretty much could have seen that coming, right? But yeah, this game is fantastic, man. The music is great, the mechanics are great. They focused on a very tight set of mechanics and gameplay. The story is sort of shallow, and that's one of the shortcomings there, but it all sort of stems from the one gameplay aspect, which is fight robots, get stronger, beat Sigma. And everything in the game revolves around that, from the music kind of pumping you up as you're playing through the stages with this classic 90s Capcom synthetic music or synthesized music, to the gameplay of shooting through all the robots with the new powers that you get from the bigger bosses that you've beaten from the stages. It all works together to create a really nice package that I honestly would recommend to anybody. If you like action games, period, and if you have halfway decent reflexes, you really don't need great reflexes to do this, as I've shown, because I'm not the greatest at this game. I would say play it. It's one of the all-time classic titles out there, and if I'm going to borrow a phrase from about 6 years ago when I played Sonic Adventure DX, I would consider Mega Man X required reading for anybody who considers themselves a gamer in the modern day. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's just that good. And I would recommend it to whomever would like to try it. If you haven't tried it already, this game is pretty prolific in how many people's lives it has become a part of. And I like it ever so much. But that's going to do it for today's stream and for Mega Man X. So we will move through to the next game in the series, Mega Man X2, after a game of my choosing. And since October is coming up, by the next time we stream, I may have a special surprise ready for Halloween for you. What game will it be that I choose for Halloween for that playthrough that will hopefully last through the entire month? I don't know yet, but ideally it will. You'll have to find out on the next stream. Until then, everyone, thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I will see all of you at that point. Take care, and have a good night. Watch me ghetto blast this stream off. Hold on a moment. Friggin' bootleg solutions to get this to work. Oh, if only PCSX2 would work with it, but alas, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.